Hey, welcome back to the Milton Price Report. My name is Chuck Charlton from the Charlton Advantage team. And so what better day to send the June report than the last day of June? And it's a little bit quieter here today at the office, and it's a great chance for me to record this. And really what we try and do here is separate the fact from fiction. You hear a lot of stuff out there, and it's not always based in facts, truth, and we really try and interpret the information in the best way possible for you. So our team is actually 4 licensed partners. Plus we have 2 admin, and then we have a lot of support people, photographers and home inspectors and lawyers and all the people that we work with on the peripheries that we trust very much. So if you ever need a good recommendation from anything from a window cleaner to an electrician to a lawyer, we do know who does a good job, and so we're pretty confident when we recommend somebody. So this report is more general in nature, but we do try and give you an overview of what's really going on. The best and the most specific way to get information is to actually do research based on your home, where it is. Every market's different. There's a townhouse market, but even more specific, there's townhouses on the east end versus the west end. There's 5-year-old townhouses versus new townhouses. So there's all kinds of different variables. There's, the 4-bedroom, 2,000 square foot towns could be doing something completely different than the 3-bedroom, 1,400 square foot town. So there's a lot of differences in the market, and sometimes one good sale or one bad sale in a specific part of the market can change the variables there. So take this report with caution, but we'll give you a sense of where things are at. We have seen good price appreciation this year. We've certainly seen, I sold a home in December, and probably by the time January rolled around, it literally was selling for about $10,000 more for a very similar home. And we've continued to see that trend creep upward. So definitely big appreciation over last year, and then from last year to the year before, we saw much less. So the average out is still pretty strong, but most of the growth from the past 2 years has really happened in the last probably 5 or 6 months. So we can look at freehold towns, we can look at numbers. Usually the days on the market is the number we look at as the strength of a market. And you can see for the last 4 months, the towns have been very aggressively selling. Still only 72% of the listings that come out in any given month end up selling. That's a surprising number for most people. And semis last year, kind of around the June, July time, started really going crazy, and we were finding 100% that came out sold. We're around 61% here, but still good days on the market, and even detached homes are doing quite well. So it has been a very active spring. You can look at median price, but the problem with looking at median price is that 1 or 2 big sales, like for detached, $1 or $2 million sales can kind of change the whole number scheme. So you got to watch that with caution. It is better to look at the individual links to sales, which if you scroll down below the video, you're going to see for every property type, you can see the links to sales, which are updated every Monday. So condo towns, condo apartments continue to do well. In fact, condo apartments earlier this year, we were looking at 2 sales and 11 new listings, 7 sales, 15 new listings. So there was a lot of inventory that was coming out. Now in April and May, there was even more sales than new inventory coming out. So we're starting to see some of the backlogs starting to get swallowed up. And so overall things have gone really well. Now, a lot of people ask us what's happening in the next few months. The summer typically is a bit of a slower season, but the nice part about the off seasons is that you can actually list your home with less competition. So sometimes you can find little niches and little holes in the market that can really provide a good opportunity for people. So every situation is different, and that's why there's no one-size-fits-all advice to say yes, it is a good time, or no, it's not. Overall, the Milton market has done quite well. Last month, average price was $41,316. 17 days in the market, very, very good. So let me show you what's happened the last 4 years. These are some new numbers that we don't normally cover in the Milton Price Report. The first one is average sold to ask. So if somebody asked $300,000, at what percent do they get? Are they getting $300,000? Are they getting 297? Are they getting 294? So the stats here, we've got 100, 100.5, we've got 99, 99.5. So we had that really good month in February of 4 years ago where actually everything was selling at 100% in Milton. Since then, we're on the red line right now. So we've kind of been tracking just under 99%. And then as we go further in the year, what we see is we start to peel down closer to a 98%. And so it can be a little more tricky. And then even the units sold, you can see how many sell in the spring and then how many sell here. But again, that's not the complete story, because even though there's less sales here, there are still people breaking records and doing all kinds of things. So that's why the median price actually comes back up in the fall. So it's just interesting that that there's just kind of less market activity in the fall than we'd find really in the spring. So is it a better time to list in the spring or fall? Like we talked about before, it's very specific to your situation. Here's some people and what they've said about us. We were the first ones to sell a home in New Milton over $900,000. Since then, we've had a couple $1 million ones, which have been very impressive. But we've broken the record on the high side, I think 2 or 3 different times in the new area. We're the only ones to bring a buyer on a $1 million house in town. Or I think that may have been the first. There were a couple that stretch on Ontario Street where there's all boarded up houses. A lot of those were going close to $1 million. People want to know what's actually happening there. It's a builder called Bucci Homes, and likely townhouses we're going to see in that little block of land. So you can go online, you can check out all the sales links, you can check out the guide, download the PDF, and so that's updated. Basically, by the time you get this video, all the information will be current. And there's 3 things you can do next. You can ask for a pinpoint price analysis, where we give you a very customized analysis of your home's value, much more specific than the general range, which we've included on the site in the sales that you're looking at yourself. We can also do a room-by-room review, which means that we actually come over and tell you the things you should and shouldn't do. Nothing's mandatory, but if there's something that we see that maybe you could make double or triple or quintuple your money, I think the responsible thing is to lay that out on the table and say, if you want to do it, it's there as an option. And so the low-cost, high-return improvements for a house, and usually the big 5 that we always discuss with people: kitchen renovation, bathroom renovation. We talk about flooring, we talk about paint, and we talk about details like light fixtures and some of the other small details. Those tend to be the big 5 for return on investment, but they aren't the only things. And the last one is the silent market of homes. And so we have a lot of outreach. We've got 12,000 people on our Milton Daily Homes list. We've got about probably 400 past clients that we stay in touch with on a regular basis that come to our client parties and all kinds of things like that. We reach out to them. We've started to do a lot of fun work with Facebook, boosted post advertising, ways to get the word out about a home that's very exciting. So a lot of times we can reach out. Oh, and the other thing is we've got a mailing list for every agent who's done more than 2 transactions in Milton. So we can even reach out to the agents and see if they're working with someone. Bottom line is, you don't have to be listed on the MLS to get some pretty amazing activity happening on your place. And so before you decide to list your home, check in with us, and there's a good chance that we may know somebody who's connected to a buyer. It could be direct or indirect, so that could save you time and money. So any of that stuff, give us a call, 905-693-9346, or you can email us back. And we're really just here to keep you safe, to be your guides, to give you great advice based on your unique situation. So have a great month, and we'll see you again in July with another episode of the Milton Price Report. Thanks for watching.